With 25% of the season gone, we're going to be evaluating AK's offseason moves, especially now that we know we're only losing a second-round pick for the whole Lonzo Ball fiasco. And it starts right now. So if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. It is the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So get in tune with us, man. Now, we got the news yesterday. Big news that the Bulls would only be losing a 2024 second-round pick for getting into free agency early. Great. Second-round picks are easy. You can buy them back. You can sell them. Like, fine. We're very fine with that for acquiring Lonzo Ball and having talent that now puts you at the top of the East. But now with that, you know, I kind of wanted to look at how we grade the moves that AK has made now that we've seen these guys play for a quarter of the season, now that we've seen these guys be involved in the game, and now that we know what the punishment is. And so let's start with the man right there, Lonzo Ball. How would you guys grade what Lonzo Ball has done this season? And I mean, if you look at his numbers coming in right now, we're now 22 games in, 12.5 points per game, 4.8 assists, 5.2 rebounds. He's shooting at 42% from the field, 44% from three, 75% from the free throw line. He's averaging almost 2 steals a game and just under a block a game. So how would you, in that time, he's also had 2 double-doubles and 1 triple-double. So how would you grade the job that Lonzo Ball has done to this point? And to me, like, the numbers themselves don't tell the story, right? So 12 points a game, you would have thought his scoring would take an uptick. At least I did coming into this season. The assists, only 4.8 a game. But to me, I'm looking at the eye test on it, right? If somebody outside of the Bulls organization looks at how Lonzo Ball is playing, you're looking at that and you're saying, oh, okay, he's all right. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice piece, but you paid this man 80 mil. He should be doing a little bit better. But I look at how the offense is moving based on last season. So to me, Lonzo is not an A+ move. It's not that high up, but it is I'll give it a B+. I'll give it a B+ because I did think that the scoring would do more. I did think that the offensively he would improve more, but you still have one of the best defensive point guards in the NBA, and how your offense moves when he has the ball in his hands, which is why I'm giving it the B+, because I don't think he gets the opportunity to get the ball in his hands enough. When he has the ball in his hands in those big moments, how the ball movement flows, how the team flows, how everything moves is so smooth, especially when it's him, Caruso, DeRozan, and Zach on the floor. You just see that high IQ moving the ball around. And so to me, like, I look at this, I look at the move for Lonzo, and I give it a B+ because, only because, in those fourth quarter moments, you don't see a lot of Zoe running the show. You see more of the one-on-one opportunities. You see more DeMar DeRozan going to work, Zach LaVine going to work, which is fine. It's working, and we see that on a lot of teams around the league, but to me, I think this team takes that next step if you have that great ball movement that Lonzo starts off, and that would put this in an A+ move to me, adding in the shooting, adding in the defense. By the way, didn't expect to be getting a sharpshooter shooting at 44% out here. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting that at all, so that's just an added bonus. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know how you guys feel on these grades, man. Let me know in the comments below. How are you grading the offseason moves for AK? Break them down. Talk to me about them. I'll be down in the comments talking with you as well. We're going to be doing more of these short form content videos. I know that you guys really like these along to match up along with the long live streams and stuff like that. So appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. DeMar DeRozan. Dog, they said he was the worst free agent signing of the offseason. He's probably the best. He's probably the best free agent signing this offseason. And you know why? Not just because he's scoring at a very high clip, being very efficient. Not because you basically signed a guy that's gonna put up 26 points a game, 4 assists a game, 5 rebounds a game, shooting at 48% from the field, only shooting at 32% from 3, but I mean, he's taking a lot more of them, shooting at 89% from the free throw line, already has 1 double-double. He's averaging about a steal a game as well. But because you paired that with what you already have, and we finally got to see the first game of that where everybody was kind of clicking, where DeMar, Vooch, and Zach were able to work together. Like, that's the best free agent signing of the offseason. It's the most underrated free agent signing of the offseason, and it went so under the radar. Everybody was like, oh my goodness, DeMar DeRozan signed with the Bulls. Who really cares? Now you care, because now that's what's propelled the Bulls to be here. See, it's not just about getting star power in the building. Star power is great. You know what I'm saying? You go get all of the best players that you can. That's great. But you have to combine that with the right mix of players. You already had some stars here. You also already had you just got Lonzo Ball in the building. Lonzo is the thing that facilitates all of that star power to the right spots. And you also have a bunch of people on the floor who look to pass the ball and sometimes to a fault. So to me, DeMar DeRozan is an A+ move. You signed an MVP candidate. Now, is he going to win the MVP? Probably not. But you signed an MVP candidate with the way he's playing right now, and everybody thought he was too washed up to do it. He was too over the hill. Oh my goodness, he was out in San Antonio. Nobody paid attention to the fact that San Antonio runs a specific kind of system, and he was the one facilitating the system. Of course his scoring numbers are going to go down because his assist numbers went up. But no, this to me is, by AK, is an A+ kind of move, because you've seen at times this season, there's been times where Zach hasn't been able to get it going early on, and he's kind of struggled through the game. Those were the times where you would get blown out of a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he usually ends up with his 20 to 25 by the end of the game, because in the fourth quarter he goes off, or in the third quarter he has a big moment. But those times where those lulls were there were the moments where you would get blown out of a game, and now DeMar is stepping up in those big moments, and now you're seeing Vooch in that last game step up big, and now you have to continue with that. You have to keep that going. You have to keep that moving in the right direction. Can they do that? I think that they can. We're a quarter of the way through the season. We've seen these guys trade off a ton of times. You know what I'm saying? When DeMar was struggling, Zach started getting it going, and he starts going off. When both of them were struggling, we saw Vooch getting it going early in the last game, and then all of a sudden they got in on the act. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how this team is supposed to work. And Lonzo should be facilitating all of that. And to me, that's the biggest thing that's going to lead to the Bulls' success moving forward. So AK, shout out to you. This is an A+ move. Now here's the one, right, where, because we're evaluating this through and seeing it in game action is the biggest difference to me, right? The signing of Alex Caruso. You know, I just said DeMar is probably the biggest signing, and I stand by that. But the signing of Alex Caruso is so big for the Bulls. It's huge. It's ridiculous. Like, it is a game-changing signing, because you have somebody off of the bench who's not only going to come out and play stellar defense, but who also can shoot. You finally found that legitimate 3-and-D player, right? And you have him coming off of the bench so that you have a healthy rotation moving through. Now, Billy's still trying to figure out the rotations. But if DeMar was the best free agent signing of the offseason, Caruso might have been 1A. Or 1B, however it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, bringing him in, the fact that the Lakers didn't want to bring him back is mind-blowing to me. Because he is the I will do whatever it takes to win this game kind of player, and you need that. And he's the kind of player that, you know what it is? He can be a glue for this team. He can be that. You need that player that everybody looks at in the city, in around the city, the teams around the league look at and say that is a Chicago player. Alex Caruso is a Chicago player. Hard-working mentality, hard-hat lunch pill, do whatever it takes to get the dub. Actually able to shoot the ball a little bit, though. We don't usually get those hard-hat lunch pill players with those kind of guys here in the city. But he wants to lock you down defensively. The fact that AK went so hard on the defensive end of it, to me, Caruso is I don't want to be playing homer, but that's an A+ move too, dog. Like, that to me, like, I look at the addition of Caruso, and I think that a lot of this works without him, but it works so much better because you got him, because there's moments where DeMar's not going to play that same level of defense. Zach's not going to play that same level of defense. But you have enough guys that can do that can step up, that can make that move. And so Caruso to me is huge in the sense of on the defensive end. That is an A+ move, because he's not only on the defensive end able to do what he is able to do. He's stealing the ball left and right. I think he had a game with 6 steals this season. But also on the offensive end, he's not inept. He's actually got high basketball IQ. He's finding his teammates open. He's finding them with great passes. He's finding open shots. He's being the reason that the ball movement starts. He can be that Lonzo Ball when Lonzo Ball's not in the game, and we saw that when Lonzo got in a little bit of foul trouble early. Caruso was able to come in and step into that point guard position, and now you've got 2 guys on your team that can help out your young rookie and Ayo Dosunmu figure out what kind of player he wants to be in this NBA, because I think he's got that similar type of play style. And so now you're going to have him moving in the right direction because of these guys. This is another A+ pickup for me. If DeMar was the best free agent pickup this offseason, Caruso's definitely 1A or 1B. Now we quick fire through some of the not lesser signings. I mean, they're huge parts of what we've done this season, but some of the less notable signings. Let me run them through here. Tony Bradley, not a bad signing at all. I like him as a bench big. I think that that's exactly what he is, and that's what he needs to remain. And he's going to be a spot start guy or a spot play guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be moments where the games, and you saw that out west, where he just doesn't have the ability to keep up with the players on the court. There's going to be moments where he's just not offensively savvy enough to fit with this offense, but he's a nice defensive piece. If you need to lock down the paint, he's a nice piece to have, and I like Tony Bradley for that. I wouldn't mind seeing him get a little bit more run. And we might see the lineups fluctuate again because of Kobe White going back out. Javonte Green. Javonte Green has been an excellent. Oh, Tony Bradley signing. I give it a C. C+. C+. Not a crazy signing. Not a crazy signing. Nice solid piece. Javonte Green is a B for me. Javonte to me is a player who has stepped in at the power forward position, oddly enough, and has not missed the beat. He doesn't always get involved offensively, which is why you got to give him the B. But like I was telling Kid the other night, you know, you look at Javonte's numbers aren't what tell the story. We call Javonte's name on the defensive end so often. We called him for steals, blocks, coming down. I think somebody was throwing a oop. He literally went up and knocks it out of his hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've called Javonte Green's name so often this season, and to me, it's that's a big one. That's a big one for the Bulls, especially with him being able to step in at that power forward position. Alize Johnson. You know what? That's a miss for me with AK. That's a miss for, at least right now, quarter of the way through the season. That's a miss for me. Got some tick early, showed that hard hustling muscle that we talked about, and then kind of just got lost in the shuffle. And then when he did get tick, you saw some mistakes, you saw little things, you know what I'm saying? And somehow he fell out of the rotation. But Alize, yeah, that's probably like a C- D pick for me. Now, you didn't lose anything. I mean, it's minimum salary. Re-signed him using minimum salary. It's fine. Like, it's not, but I guess you lost the roster spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to see, and apparently Billy's rotations aren't going super deep anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, we're going, what, 8 deep? So it might not have mattered either way. But at least to this point, I haven't seen much out of him. Oh, no, we got to get this one, too. Derrick Jones, the acquisition of Derrick Jones from the Trailblazers. That is a big pickup. You've got somebody who can come in. I thought Troy Brown Jr. was going to be that guy, but you've got somebody that can come in, can do everything defensively, can shoot the corner threes. I don't want to see him shooting anything outside that corner, but can shoot the corner threes. And then he's a guy who we've seen locked down on the defensive end. He's not gonna be, he's using his length more times than not. but he definitely can block some shots. He can be that shot blocker for you. I think he might be now I'm guessing Billy's going just because of the small ball, being able to run up and down the court a little quicker. Maybe you go Javonte Green still, but I thought he would have been the candidate for that power forward position. But to me, Derrick Jones has been like I give him a B pickup. You know what I'm saying? He's had some games where he's really snapped off, and he's been the reason. He's got the N1s. He's a high flyer. It's not bad. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice rotation piece. He is what he is. We can't continue to overvalue a lot of these guys, and I think we fall in love with our role players a lot here in Chicago. But to me, Derrick Jones is a beautiful rotation piece. He's the right kind of guy for this team. He's going to get gritty. He's going to get in there. He's going to break up plays. He's going to have the length to guard some of those longer athletic shooters in the league. You know what I'm saying? And so if I had to put a grade on, I'd give him a B. He's been really solid for the Bulls, and I think AK has done an excellent job. I think he did an excellent job with his offseason pickups. I think he's been vindicated on the DeMar pick exponentially. I think that he's going to continue to have, you know, great talent be in the room, and that's what's going to make the difference for the Bulls here moving forward. And we're going to see continued success from this team because of what AK has put together this offseason and the right mixture of it. AK's gone more towards a defensive lineup. Hey, we're going to have to play some defense. We're going to have to, you know, get down and get busy in there. And I'll say this, did he know that the league was going to change how the rules were being called, or was he just is this just the team he wanted to go with? Because he's got the perfect team based on how the league is being called now. Based on how fouls are being called, how you know, like getting to the free throw line is being called. Like DeMar has the perfect kind of game for this league because he's not. If you foul DeMar, it's a foul. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna make you draw that foul. Like, it's gonna be an obvious foul. He's not doing too much extra to draw that foul. And so he's still getting to the free throw line at a high clip. You've got guys who don't mind getting into you, bumping you a lot. Caruso says, if I'm not using my 5 fouls, that means I'm probably not playing defense hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys that are going to get in there and get after you. The perfect mixture of guys. So I don't know if AK knew the rule change was coming, or if these were just the guys that he wanted to go with a more defensive-minded lineup. But, man, it's like they came in at the perfect time for the changes in the league. But I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well as always, man. Let me know how you guys think the Bulls should be graded. AK, Mark Eversley, how those guys should be graded based on their offseason. I guess I could give them an individual grade too. If I was going to give them a grade, I mean, it's got to be an A. It's got to be an A. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the grades don't work out that way the way I gave them, but it's got to be an A because there's just the jump is too great. Like, you don't see that in the NBA unless you go get a LeBron or something like that, right? Like, we didn't go get a LeBron. We just added to talent that for the most part was here in Zach LaVine and Vooch and some of the bench pieces that we have. So to see this kind of jump this early in the season where you're a top 2, top 3 team in the East, it's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. So right now, to me, AK's grade, A+, A, however you want to throw it out there. You know, I give him an A. Give him an A. But I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below as well. How do you guys feel? What are your grades for AK? What are your grades for the players this season? I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it is your boy Pat, the designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links here or check the links in the description below. Hey, yo, Chicago, y'all stay safe out there, man. Peace.